Hey everybody, Jeb here, and I decided to make a video where I themed every single agent with the perfect gun skin that represents that agent. So let's start off with Brimmy Boy. So with Brimstone, I wanted to go with the gun skin that either represented his colors like orange and gray, or go with the gun skin that kind of represents like military and a historical background. Because we do know Brimstone is pretty old, the oldest agent on the protocol, and everyone makes fun of him for that. So I got the perfect skin that not only represents his love and experience in the military, but also kind of represents age as well. And that of course is going to be the infantry skin. I don't actually see a lot of people ever run this skin, but I think it's kind of underrated. So I know the color scheme doesn't really fit Brimstone like at all, but I really like how this is a World War II like pretty old themed military background skin. So I think that actually fits really well with Brimstone. Up next is Viper, and surprisingly guys, I had a really hard time with Viper. I was really trying to find like a good like green skin that could fit her color palette, but it wasn't too gimmicky like the gravitational uranium neuroblaster skin, for example. Like I feel like that wouldn't fit Viper at all, even though the main variation of that skin is green. And I was honestly having a really hard time. I was scouring far and wide. I couldn't really find anything. And then I remembered that there are battle pass skins. So with a quick scan of the battle pass skins, I found the perfect one, and that's going to be the Coalition Cobra skin. I honestly do feel like this skin was like specifically made for Viper. It shares the same color palette as Viper, has a Cobra on it, which is like another snake. It's honestly kind of cool, and it has a couple of really nice variations as well. And yeah, I think this is the perfect skin for Viper. Up next is Omen, and I really have no explaining at all for this one. It's very clearly going to be Reaver. Like no other skin screams Omen like Reaver. It's dark, it's shadow-like, it's mysterious, it sounds awesome, everything like Omen as well. So I mean that's just an easy one. Like literally when I made this list, I was like Omen, Reaver, like that was the first thing I thought of. Now we move on to Killjoy. Now Killjoy I was a little confused with. I wanted to go with this skin that kind of was either outlandish with colors of different like pops of colors of with high contrast like yellow or pinks, or something that was kind of like engineering and mechanically vibe. I feel like either those two things would fit Killjoy very well. So here are the things that I came up with. I first thought of Endeavor because it is kind of like has that yellow color with Killjoy, and it kind of brings me the vibe of like an engineering or a mechanical masterpiece or whatever. I don't think the skin is that cool, but I feel like that maybe it would kind of work for Killjoy. But then I decided to go with the color palette scheme, and I feel like that glitch pop works really well for Killjoy. You have all the different outlandish like high contrast colors, and it's got a bunch of like anime and like food references, and we know Killjoy plays League of Legends. She loves those kind of things, so I feel like glitch pop is like the perfect one for Killjoy. Are there any other skins that you think would work really well for Killjoy? I just think that like glitch pop is like the perfect one for her, but if there's anything else, let me know in the comments below. So I'm gonna be real with you guys. Cypher, the agent up next, is the agent I had the most time struggling with. I honestly spent like 15 minutes trying to figure out what to do with Cypher. I wanted to find a skin that would either tie in like a mysterious vibe or like a cultural vibe, and to be honest, I really couldn't find anything. I was going up and down in the battle pass skins, the store skins, and I couldn't find anything that resembled like a sneaky or surveillance kind of vibe or mysterious enough and the color palette matched with Cypher. So I just went with Ion. I don't know, what do you guys think? It's like white and gray and black. It kind of shares the same color scheme with Cypher, but it doesn't really have that cultural or mysterious vibe I was trying to bring with Cypher. So I landed on Ion. What do you guys think? I had a really hard time with Cypher. Up next is Silva, and I had a blast with Silva. I thought we would have a really good time, like either having like a blue and white color scheme or like a Siberian like snowfall or ice kind of scheme, because Silva does come from like the Siberian wasteland of Russia. So I figured we could work with that. So lucky for us, there's a pretty healthy selection of snow skins or ice skins. I guess I could have went with Smite because it has like the electricity from a shock dart, but I didn't want to do Silva wrong like that. Smite is awful. So all of these snow or ice skins are going to be Avalanche, Sylvanus, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Snowfall, or Winter Wonderland. So this was a pretty tough one for me because I had 4 options, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I let my bias go through because the Winter Wonderland is the first skin I ever bought in Valorant, so it holds a very special nostalgic place in my heart. So I'm sorry to all you guys that hate like the green screen skins in Valorant. Ooh, next up is gonna be Sage, and I had a lot of fun making Sage's skin because I initially was gonna go with like Spline because of how she has like the orbs, like the slow orb, the healing orb, you know, all that great stuff. So I thought, you know, orbs is all over Spline. It's got those orbs and circles all around it. But then I thought Spline is kind of ugly. So maybe I thought we could try to like transition to something that was a little more either fitting her color palette or her like cultural and, you know, her theme with her agent. So then I remember Celestial, and Celestial kind of gives me that same vibe with like Sage, where it's kind of like, you know, Asian, you know, cultural area. You know, you got like the pretty cool mountains and then like, you know, the clouds in the sky, the sun. But then the same thing with Spline. I was like, man, something's missing. Like, you know, it's got that cultural stuff with it, but it just doesn't like scream like Sage. And I wanted something a little more cool. And what's more cool than the Oni skin, especially if you use the green variant for the Oni? And I thought this is a perfect match. It has the same cultural ties with, you know, with the theme with Sage, especially with the green variant. Then you're kind of mixing the same color palettes together. It was a wild journey going through all the different skins for Sage, but I finally landed on Oni. What do you guys think? Now up next is gonna be Phoenix. Now Phoenix has a lot of really great options to choose from of a theme skin for him, so I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. And so my first option for Phoenix is gonna be a battle pass skin, Prism 3, and it's really clean. It's a shiny orange and has the same color scheme as Phoenix, but I felt like it was lacking features, and we all know Phoenix is full of features and it wants to be seen, it wants to be known. So then it got me over to the Spitfire collection. Now the Spitfire collection is also another battle pass skin, and honestly not a bad one. Yeah, it doesn't have any animations like that, but it really can work with Phoenix because it literally shows fire and flames on it. It does share the same color palettes of like the black, the grays, the silver with, you know, on his jacket, but I wanted to go with something a little more out there and extravagant. So we had to leave the battle pass section of skins and go back to one of the most OG skins in Valorant, a classic Elder Flame, especially with the red variant. Like, I don't know, man, this sounds so cool with the flames of the dragon, and it's just really out there and wants to be seen, wants to be shown, which is exactly what I think would fit the vibe for Phoenix. Just like Sage, it was a big journey of trying to find a good skin for Phoenix, and I feel like I landed on a pretty nice one. Next up is going to be Jet. Now when I was trying to find a skin for Jet, I actually kind of had a hard time with her. I was wanting to go something that either fit her color palette or wanted to do something like wind or air or like being super quick. So the first skin I landed on was Rush. Now I know the color scheme doesn't really fit at all, but I like the name, you know, Jet, you know, rushing around, being quick, and the name of the skin is Rush. But I was like, there's got to be something more, right? There's got to be something that shows a little bit more resemblance to her, so I had to move on. Now, I also thought the aerosol skin set from one of the battle passes would work fairly well with Jet. I mean, we do know that Jet loves graffitiing everywhere. We saw it in the, you know, Twitter takeover series where Jet was just going through the city, you know, just causing absolute shenanigans and just honestly vandalizing property with spray painting everything. But again, the color scheme didn't really fit very well. So I was torn between two skins for Jet that I really wanted to land on. Either one of them was going to be Lux, a skin that honestly really does match your color palette really well. It does look clean, kind of gives me some quick vibes to it. But then I also wanted to go with a skin that doesn't necessarily match her color scheme, but definitely shows off the sky and the like air really well. So I went with Horizon too. Now I know a lot of people hate the green screen skins, but I honestly like them a lot, to be honest. And I think Horizon looks really pretty. It definitely gives off the atmosphere and quick, you know, cloud burst, you know, vibe as well that Jet gives off too. So I'm gonna leave this one to you guys. Either you guys go with the color scheme skin that doesn't really have a lot to it, it's kind of bland, or you go with the more character themed skin of the Horizon one. What do you guys think? Next up is gonna be Rayna. So with Rayna, I wanted to go with this skin that was like kind of like dark and mysterious and like had some purple vibes to it as well. So I was looking for like dark purple and like kind of like scary. Now I first looked at the Prelude to Chaos you know, bundle, but I don't know about this one. Like, it did give me like it does have the dark vibes and then it hits of purple in there as well. And I did like how it said Prelude to Chaos, like that's the name of the bundle, and we all know Rayna loves chaos and she creates absolute chaos, but I felt like something was just missing here. And then I landed on the Singularity skin. Now I think this one is perfect for Rayna. The reason why is because it's dark, it's got that purple gem in it, and if you look at Rayna in her chest, you see a purple gem in her chest as well. So I thought, you know, the purple crystal in the Singularity and then the purple crystal or gem or whatever you want to call it in Rayna's chest as well fits very well. It fits the same color schemes as well, in my opinion. And honestly, I think Singularity is a really clean and like really nice looking skin. and I just think it fits Rayna. And now up next is gonna be Raze, and I thought the perfect skin for Raze is gonna be Spectrum. And I mean, come on, we know Raze loves to jam out. She always has music blaring in her headphones. She's literally all about dancing and vibing to music. And even though the color scheme does not fit Raze at all, I do think that because it does play music and the music is actually really nice too, that Raze would be jamming out to it a ton. Now up next is Breach, and I had a really fun time coming with breaches, and I kind of just landed on one skin, and that's gonna be Wasteland, a skin that I almost see no one using at all. Like I've never ever see anyone use Wasteland, but I think it fits Breach really well because it's just a collection of like parts put together that forms like a weapon. Like there's all these different things, and it's loosely put together with like duct tape, and looks like it's like one step away from falling apart. And I think that fits Breach because, you know, Breach is like human and machine. Like he's got like his mechanical arms, and Breach himself comes from not very humble beginnings at all. So I thought it was really cool how a bunch of like junk pieces were put together to form something cool. Now next up is going to be the agent Skye. Now this one's pretty easy for me because the second I thought about Skye, I thought about this skin. Gaia's Vengeance? I probably butchered it, but like, come on, this skin screams nature. A tree comes out of the ground after you kill someone. Like, that's just so cool, and it shows the power of nature, which is something, you know, Skye is all about. She loves the environment and nature. My favorite variation of the skin is the white and red one. Let me know what your guys' favorite variation of Gaia's Vengeance, whatever it's called, is in the comments below. So next up is gonna be Yoru, and guys, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't know if I'm super proud of my pick with Yoru. You guys let me know here. So with Yoru, I went with Tethered Realms. Now, the reason why I did, I know that the color palette doesn't really fit Yoru at all, and really nothing about this skin fits Yoru. It's all in the name for me, Tethered Realms. Because we know Yoru goes from realm to realm when he's using his ult or teleporting or doing any of that craziness, you know, he always does. And, you know, the skin can kind of be deceiving, you know, if you're in the light and it kind of shines into the bright city, or if you're in the shade or the dark and then it goes into the nighttime in the city where it looks kind of evil. So it's kind of got two sides of it, kind of mysterious, which also fits Yoru's mysterious vibe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Tethered Realms was way off? Now, next up for Astra is a super easy one. I'm sure you guys saw this one coming, and that's going to be Nebula. Now, like I said, I enjoy the green screen skins, and I think Nebula is honestly really awesome. I have a Nebula Sheriff in my collection. I mean, come on, Astra is the queen of the cosmos, bending space to her will, and Nebula is the perfect space skin that we have. Even though a ton of people probably don't like the skin very much, I do think that this skin fits Astra incredibly well. Also, the color that they use for space with all the purples and pinks and stuff also fits Astra's color palette as well. So I feel like that this is like a perfect skin for her. So next up is going to be a pretty funny one in my opinion. It's going to be KO. And I thought the perfect skin for KO, it doesn't really fit his color palette really well at all. It's gonna be something else totally different. I chose the Protocol 781A bundle because, I mean, come on, it's literally like cybernetic, you know, robots talking to you, AI talking to you the entire time once you level up with enough Radiant points. It talks in military code as well, and a giant mech comes out when you kill the last person on the enemy team. I mean, it's literally all about AI and robots and stuff, so it really does fit KO very well for me. Now, the next agent we're gonna be talking about is gonna be Chamber. Now, with Chamber, I wanted to go with the skin that screamed like, I'm rich, I have a lot of money, I'm royalty. Like, that's basically Chamber. Like, he's rich and he always brags about it too. So I wanted to go with a skin that kind of fit those vibes. And at first I thought Sovereign might work. You know, Sovereign does give me like a royalty kind of vibe to it. It's very clean. It looks like that it's like, you know, been expertly crafted, and it kind of screams royalty to me, and it's pretty rich. But then I thought there's one more skin that kind of fits this vibe a little bit better for me, and that's going to be one of the most classic skins in all of Valorant, Prime. I don't know about you guys, but when I look at this skin, it looks like that it's very expensive to me. Same thing with Sovereign, where it looks like that it's been crafted extremely well, and it just holds a bunch of value to it. The yellow color palette of Prime also goes really well with Chamber, in my opinion, as well. So yeah, Prime is my pick for Chamber. Now, next up is gonna be Neon. Now, for Neon, I searched far and wide across all these store skins, across all of the Battle Pass skins, to desperately find a skin that wasn't Smite. And I thought maybe, you know, Lux might work. You know, Lux is blue. You know, Neon has a bunch of blue for a color scheme, but I already used this skin as a possible entry for Jet, and the white doesn't really mix in there either. So the only thing there resembling Neon would be the blue. And I thought, man, dude, there's no way, but Smite honestly works the best for Neon. I know, guys, it pains me to say this, but I do think that Smite is the most neon resembling skin that we have right now. It does have an electric theme to it and does share the same blue scheme as neon does as well. And maybe I'm being too harsh on Smite. I guess it's not that bad of a skin. Like, it is kind of bad, but it's not like the worst skin ever. But it does fit with neon very well. Last up for today is going to be Fade. Now with Fade, I wanted to go with something that was definitely like dark and mysterious, because that is Fade after all, dark and mysterious. So when I first looked at the Ruination skin bundle, I thought that it kind of checked the list of being like dark and mysterious and kind of like a ghosty appearance to it, but it didn't really share the same color scheme with Fade that I was really looking for. And then I looked at Tigers. It kind of catches the same, like, you know, shadowy, dark, mysterious vibe we were getting with Ruination, but the red and the black fits Fade much better, in my opinion, than Ruination. So I think Tigers is going to be the skin that kind of completes Fade the most. If you guys think I got any skins for agents wrong, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe notifications if you're new. Now, with all that being said, Jippy out!